Okay, let's get started here. Number one step is you have to understand the time factor of stress. Okay, sit up, everybody. I need you to really consume this. And this is why I'm giving you the replay, because I always tell people, like, one thing, don't tell me to slow down. I want you to learn to speed up. I just did a talk on a podcast called The Point. Do any of you listen to that? Rhino's podcast, The Point? Type in The Point, to the point in there. And when I was doing the interview today at 3:30 or whatever, I turned around and I want to share something with you. Now, if a computer, they say technology, Sean, they say that technology doubles the speed. Did you ever hear this, Brian? Doubles the speed every 18 months. What's that called, Mark? Is that called Moore's Law? It's Moore's Law, right? Every 18 months. Okay. You ready for me to twist you all up a little bit? So if Moore's Law says that computers can double the rate of speed every 18 months, and guess what, Sangeeta, am I saying that right? Sangeeta? Okay. High five, Sangeeta. High five. Okay. And your brain is the greatest microcomputer on earth, then why aren't you doubling your rate of speed every 18 months? Because a human brain, as far as we know, created the technology for the technology to double every 18 months. Now, wait a minute, Mark. You got to be sitting here thinking, well, hang on a second. Why am I not doubling every 18 months the rate of speed, which would create, if my thinking shifts to double its level every 18 months, you would think everything else in your life would follow. Your health would improve. You would heal yourself, right, Emily? You would turn around and create wealth quicker. Your relationships would become deeper. But you have to think about the stress in terms of time. You're stressing about something that's either in the past, the present, the future, or all three. It might be all three. Now, let's look at the past here, right? And the past is maybe something like when I was a kid, the other kids used to make fun of me. And you're thinking, well, Mike, how does that bring me stress today? And as I'm saying things and it's impacting you or it has you thinking, can you give me a big old boom in the chat bar? Can you give me a big old boom? And if you're getting value, can you type in value in the chat bar? Because I know a lot of people give talks, and a lot of talks, I've been on them, you get no value. And for me, if I'm not getting value, then I'm gonna like shame the shit out of myself. You know, like in Game of Thrones, I'm just gonna shame myself if I'm not gonna do that. But I gotta make sure there's value for you. In the past, if when you were a kid, other kids made fun of you, then when you're in your career or you're in life and the community starts to say something that you don't like, you're going to get stress that is created from moments in the past. Does that make sense? If any of you have past stress, hey, Lou, please, if you have past stress, can you type in past in the chat bar, right? Like you're still stressed about what happened, You cannot, at least of now, with maybe your thinking, cannot go back in time and change that. I see this with people that are divorced, people that all kinds of, they're like, no, you don't get it. I was divorced. I'm like, when? They were like 20 years ago. I'm like, damn, you're still carrying that? No, you don't understand. It was real bad. I get it. It was probably horrible, but 20 years later, your stress is from a moment in the past. Now there's present stress, right? Like my work is really difficult. Right? Like really, do any of you deal with present stress? It's like, and some of the stress you're dealing with, you're like, oh my God, the people in Uganda are having a problem right now. That's the present stress. It's like, I don't know what to do. It's happening right now. I don't know what to do with it. And some people consume this. They're all over Facebook. They're like, Oh my God, her cheesecake flopped. Oh, so-and-so got in an accident. Oh my God, so-and-so's got COVID, and they're just like present stress. Now imagine if I took like black smog, okay, Carmine, like just black, dirty smog, like you held it and it just feels like weight, like this fog of weight. Would you let me just keep handing it to you and you would just start what? Sticking it in your body? You're like, hang on a minute. Give me that shit. Before you know, Ed, you're walking around, you're a big pile of stress crap. Now there's the future stress, right? You got the future stress like, oh man, will I be able to retire? Or food's going to go up? Or like, what if there's like, here's my thinking. And maybe let me do another poll, but there's no judgments here. Do we have any gun owners? Like any of you own a gun? Type in gun in the chat bar. Like, here's the deal. If there's a food shortage, okay, you will have to go hunting like they did for thousands and thousands a year. Like I have an ocean right here. I will go fish and catch shit, right? I will eat the seagulls if I have to. But if you have future stress, sitting there going, oh my God, the gas prices. Oh my God, the economy. Oh my God, the recession. Then all of a sudden you live in a state of paralysis of this future stress. This translate, and I'm not going to have any of you define yourself here as this, but a lot of my world, my wife said, yeah, I told her, Mark, you'll like this one. I told my wife, like, if it ever gets that bad, I will just cut pieces off my arm and let my wife eat parts of my arm. I said, you will not, I promise you, you won't die. Like, and then once we're done with the arm, I guess I could go, well, I have some belly stuff here. I'm pretty sure I can feed her off a little bit of this, not too long because it's going down. But if you think about this future stress, this translates into what we call anxiety. Anxiety is worrying about a moment, a situation that did not happen. That's what it is. And it bubbles you over. It bubbles you over. So many people today dealing with the bubbling over of anxiety. Now, when anxiety becomes such an overwhelming force, then it can start to create into states of depression. Now, let me give a little disclaimer. I am not your therapist. I am not a doctor. I guarantee no that you're going to feel better after this. I'm just giving you information to consider. But if you could consider that a lot of this could just be stress, well, we have to first say, hang on a minute. I'm dealing with a situation. Let me give you a real life example. I had a lawsuit, okay, a big lawsuit, like one of those that you don't know if you should cry or load the gun. Did anybody have a lawsuit like this? Like it's one of those lawsuits, $4 million. Okay, Mark, $4 million, one of those bad boys. In the end, we settled at $1 million. And I thought this is going to put us out of business. Now, I had past stress because I was like, oh my God, how did I not see this? And the fact was, the person who sued us, when we finally settled, Mark, years later, the person said, I know you didn't do anything wrong, right, Lou? But the person said, I had to get paid from someone. I'm like, lucky me, world, lucky me, right? But I had past stress. Like, God, how did I not see that? Then I had present stress, like, oh my goodness, dealing with lawyers, $250,000 of bills. My partners are flying out, fucking California. Then I got future stress. Will we survive the business? Can we grow? Will we die? Will we have to just evaporate? Like, what's going to happen? And then I turned around and I said, and I remember the moment, it was me and my two partners. I had two partners at one time. We were in this kitchen and I said, okay, let's just look at the facts. What show is that? Those of you that are generational, you'll know, like, the facts are the facts, right? And so I looked at the facts and says, here's the facts. We have a lawsuit. Here's the second fact. We're going to have to deal with it. Here's the third fact. Money makes all pain, at least a lot of it, go away. Dragnet, Gene. Money makes things go away. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this stress and I'm going to rip it out and I'm going to put it out of my life right now. And I'm going to take my brain and I am going to focus my brain on a level of intensity, relentless intensity, to make it that is not a stress, just an experience. And I think that year, we either grew by 3.5 million or 6.5 million. We grew by a lot. Now, tell me in the chat bar, could I have grown? Could I have bought trucks, hired people, bought buildings, and be in a state of stress? Now, it's cool here because Lou Police, somebody that I care deeply about, worked for me. Lou, type in how many years you worked for me. Still a great friend of mine. Like, he could tell you if I'm calling, if there's crap called here, because he was there when I was managing tons of stress. And I believe I always turned and pulled it out. 14 years. Lou, tell him how it was to work for me. And you could be brutally honest. If it sucked, it sucked. If it was great, it was great. And how to get rid of stress to refocus forward. Okay. Do we understand the 3 levels of stress, everybody? Type in yes in the chat bar so I know. Past, present, and future. And when you're dealing with it, you have to identify it. Now,